Turns out the horn is not working properly. So he told me what's going on. I'm going to check it out and see if I can't resolve the problem. Now, one of the issues, because this vehicle hasn't been driven, is that a lot of moisture got in there and there's mold and mildew inside. And my suspicion is that the button for the horn has got corrosion, and that's why it's not operating. All right, so what my dad told me is that when you push the top, the horn will not enunciate. And there you go. But when he pushes the bottom, it would, well, there you go. It enunciates on that corner. But apparently there's some kind of connection issue in here. I think, again, it's corrosion from moisture. So I'm going to have to pull this airbag off. And to do that, I got to start off by disconnecting the battery and letting it sit. For me, I'm going to let it sit for a couple hours. I heard 30 minutes, but it's best to let it sit for quite a long time to discharge any capacitors that might cause the airbag or SRS system to deploy when you're screwing around with the electronics. Now that the capacitors in the supplemental restraint system have been discharged, what we're going to do is take an Allen key and push it in the little hole. If we can get that focused in there, behind the steering wheel. Actually, it's right there. You can see it. And that's supposed to release a clip in there. I can just feel it going in. So push this in, pull that out. I'm going to shift to the other side. Just keep push this side in, and there it is. And now we got to pull these two clips off. You can see we pull these two clips up, and now these can be pulled out. And they're color coded and it's also slotted so they go back in the right place. So we're going to carefully put this on the floor below us so it doesn't go off. And now we have access to the horn mechanism. So you can see there are 4 points of contact here. So it was only working here, but not on this side. So I'm going to take these star driver bits out, I'm going to take these star driver bolts out, take this assembly off, and I'm going to check to make sure there's no corrosion on those contacts. Unfortunately, I didn't bring the right star driver bits with me, but I'm going to use an Allen wrench, and I'm able to open these up. Now what you can see back here are the contacts right, get my finger in there, right there, and I'm assuming that those are corroded, as I mentioned before. All right, so I've got the two bolts out, and now I can gently pull this away, hopefully not allowing those springs to shoot across the car. And what we're looking for is corrosion at the contact points. I think that's one of the contact points there. No, yeah, it is. And then at the bottom, you can see it. Where is it? There and there. With sandpaper, I've cleaned up those contacts, also scuffed up the back of this. And what I'm going to do now is check continuity between that point and ground to make sure I do have continuity. All right, unfortunately, because I don't have the proper tool, I can't get this one off. So I'm going to do a little jury rigging on this one. So I'm going to first show you the problem. So I've got this grounded on one side. Let's see if you can see. Let's do it that way. You can see the open line. I'm going to try to get a connection between the switch for the horn, and you can see here that corrosion or something is preventing that circuit from closing. So that's why the horn isn't working in that position. I'm also going to test it on the bottom. Let's go back here. All right, even on this side, it's open line. So what I'm going to do, because I don't have a tool, I'm going to actually run the sandpaper behind. I took this lead off. You got to push this little clip in right here to pull this lead up. And I'm going to run sandpaper behind that little contact and just pull it through a few times in order to clear whatever corrosion is in there. Now the best thing to do, which I can't do right now because I don't have any with me, is to use some dielectric grease so there's no corrosion in the future. Probably gonna have to do this again in the future, but at least now it'll get this vehicle running, so, or the horn running for that matter. So I'm going to put the sandpaper behind. I'm going to lightly push on that and just pull it back and forth to clean the back of the switch. And then I'm going to flip it over, and the contact point is also going to be cleaned off. It's amazing how sensitive it is because I didn't really see any corrosion on the other side. So now we're going to check continuity once again, see if I fixed it. Otherwise, we'll have to sand it down a little bit more. All right. And there we go. So still a little bit of resistance. I'm going to sand it a little bit more, but that shows you that there is some corrosion that was preventing contact from the switch to the horn circuit. All right, so the battery's reconnected and the ultimate test. Working good. Don't forget that thumbs up like I just did. I'll see you next time on Driving Intelligence.